Welcome back to the brewing class. On today's episode, we're going to talk about how to make money working with craft beer. So, as I've gone over in my course and many videos now, it's not the most lucrative of career paths, right? Being a brewer is hard work. It's a lot of janitorial, manual labor work most of the time working in craft breweries. And their pay is very difficult for the hours that you have to work and the overtime and blah blah blah. There's always something that can go wrong, right? And if you don't have support from the owners, that's even more difficult. That relationship from the owners with the brewers and letting them expand and work their magic is super important, I feel like. So once you've gotten that first job as an assistant brewer or cellarman, your first step into the brewing industry, right? That's the most typical jobs. You'll get a cellarman, assistant cellarman, even at a bigger brewery, or assistant brewer at even a smaller brewery. Maybe you'll get lucky and become a brewer title or head brewer title, even if you have a lot of home brewing experience and credentials and have shown interest for a while. But that's not always the case. So your assistant brewer, let's say on average you're making $18 an hour. Average brewer titles maybe making 22, that's generous, dollars an hour. Head brewers usually 24 to 26, maybe $28 an hour for the head brewer position. And that's usually up to a set 14 barrel brew house, maybe a 30 barrel brew house. All that still remains. But if you're in somewhere like Lagunitas or a giant brewery where it's all pushing buttons, then there's lots of brewers, lots of head brewers, shift brewers, all that, assistant brewers, canning line operators. When you have that big kind of brewery, you may make more money because there's a lot more competition. But generally, most people work at local, more specialized craft beer, 14 barrel, 30 barrel brew house, maybe 7 barrel or smaller. And then after that head brewer, what's after that? The brewmaster, maybe 32, 34. If it's a big ass brewery, like if you're the if you're the brewmaster at Lagunitas, you're probably making like 120, 200,000 a year. But to get to that position, you're gonna have to work in the industry for like 15, 20 years and have great connections. It's really about the connections. So that's very difficult. You're mostly gonna go the assistant brewer, head brewer, tap room manager, or something different, right? You're gonna be bending over on your back a lot, shoveling. You're gonna be sweating. Your shoulders are gonna be hurting. You're gonna do a lot of hand motion by taping boxes together. You're gonna be using a lot of scissors or knives to cut stuff. You're gonna be needing to wear gloves and protective gear a lot of the time, working with chemicals. You're gonna have to climb ladders a lot, possibly. You may be inhaling a lot of dust for your lungs. As well as the chemical and from the aroma and the chemicals. But yeah, the hours are probably going to be like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning sometimes, maybe 7 or 8 if you're more lazy. You want to get the brew done or started as fast as possible, finish as fast as possible, so that leaves room for error, which there always, not always, but a lot of the time there is some sort of error. It causes you an hour. Okay, now I gotta stay here an extra hour. Fuck. Well, I gotta finish. Might as well finish cleaning these kegs. Extra 30 minutes. You end up doing like 43 hours a week as the middle and early level brewing jobs. So how do you make more money? You can't really thrive off that, right? Well, start your own side business. Start a side hustle. You can figure it out. There's so much videos out there online on Google. People saying like, yeah, I just started this podcast that went famous, made $1 million, fucking sponsored. Something, whatever it is. You can start a side hustle. You can start asking for more, applying for more jobs. But truly the only way to make wealth is either starting your own business or having that side hustle be your business that gets skyrocketed. That's the only true way to wealth. You're going to have to distinguish yourself. You're going to have to prove to everyone else that I know what I'm doing. Everyone else knows that I know what I'm doing, with social reviews, social connections, feedback to how you're doing. Try to get articles written up about you. That's publicity. The more people that know you and recognize your name, they recognize your brand, Have you done the done? Have you walked the walk? All that shit. Win more homebrew competitions. Put everything on this resume. Like, okay, I read 14 books on brewing this year. Fucking went to 6 brewing conferences. Okay, brewed 100 batches of beer. Boom, that's what I'm talking about. If you truly want to get in the brewing industry, that's what it's about. Be the best. Just keep doing it. No matter what, keep brewing. Figure out a way to keep brewing. I'm brewing on the system now that's less than $300. Like, super cheap, but it's brewing decent beer. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, the 2 IPAs, partial extract, and then first all grain also was pretty damn good. I have a stout fermenting now. But yeah, that's how you make a little bit more money in the brewing industry. Once again, Ty Stevenson, the Brewing Class.